Hello lovelies, welcome to today's video. I've got on my Marauders map t-shirt because this is a Harry Potter video and these are some of my favourite videos to make. I absolutely love doing anything to do with Disney and Harry Potter on my channel, so yes. And this was actually requested by one lovely viewer in my comments section who watched my Harry Potter Studios haul recently and said she was going to the studios for the first time and did I have any tips. And I thought, oh, I actually do, and that's a good idea for a video because if you guys are going, you might want to have some tips too. So yeah, so this might not be the most fully comprehensive list you've ever had. I feel like I'm definitely going to be missing stuff, so if you do have tips that I've missed out, please leave them in the comment section below. Let's help each other out. But yeah, I just want to help anyone that's going to the studios get the most out of their experience, and I've been 4 times now, 4 or 5 times, because I just bloody love it. And they're always adding new stuff, so it is different every time. So yeah, I think my first tip, I have written them on my phone, so I apologise if I'm like glancing down, but there's a lot to get through. My first tip would be that if you get there early, don't panic and definitely go up to the entrance, because there's always like a staff member there who you can speak to, and you can always go in early. I've gone in early every single time apart from once, and the last time that I went, that I vlogged it with my friend Cal, we were actually 2 hours early. So when you book it, you do get given a time, or you pick a time to go, but they're very lenient with the times. I guess because it's such a big building, they kind of have a maximum that they can't let through. So if it's really busy, you might not be able to. But I mean, we went and we thought it was really busy and it was in summer holidays. But yeah, it was fine and we got in 2 hours early. So you always go up and ask. So as you first go in, you go through security where you get your bags checked and you get checked and blah blah blah, and then as you go in, there's just like this big open room and there's pictures of all the Harry Potter characters, and at Christmas there's a big Christmas tree. On your left there's a big cafe, and on your right there's the gift shop. Straight ahead there's like a sectioned out bit where it zigzags, and then there's like a door where there's normally 1 or 2 cast members there. But as you walk up, there's always someone right at the beginning, and you can just ask them if you can go in early, and if you can, they'll let you. So yeah. When you go into the first room, you'll have like an introduction. I don't want to give you like spoilers, but you'll have like an introduction with a staff member. Then they'll send you through to the next room. The next room, again, I'm not going to spoil it for you, but it's set up basically like a theatre or a cinema screen. I would suggest sitting on the front row. Everyone wants to avoid the front row because they think that it's going to matter for what they're watching, but it really doesn't matter. And actually I think it's the best, because the next bit, if you're the first up, then you get to be the first into the next section, which is the most epic moment, I think, of the entire tour, is that first bit. And if you're sitting at the front, you'll be first in. So I would suggest sitting at the front of the cinema, and I'm not going to give too many spoilers for people. I don't want to ruin it because it is amazing when it's your first time and you don't know what to expect. So yeah, but I'll just say sit at the front of the cinema. If it is your birthday and a cast member or a staff member asks if it's your birthday, speak up, because it often means that they'll give you badges, or you'll get to do things like, one of the things, again I don't want to ruin it, but one of the things is that you open the doors to the Great Hall, which is amazing. You actually get to be the person that goes and like opens the door. So I would definitely say don't be shy if it's your birthday, say it is and go up and have that experience, because it's amazing. The Great Hall is the only section where there's a time limit. It says when you book it, I think, that it will take a couple of hours roughly, but there's not anyone there to rush you out of any other section other than the Great Hall, which when you've gone you'll understand why that is. But yeah, you don't have like 2 minutes, so don't panic, but it's the only bit where you do have a time limit. So I would definitely say take your time. A lot of people tend to go in and like rush right up to the front, because, you know, just as humans, if something's like a straight line, you just keep walking and you'll follow everyone. but definitely take in all the stuff that's right as you step in, take in all the stuff that's down the sides, and take it all in, like take your time. They'll tell you when it's time to move on, so don't panic, and I would definitely say don't move on until they ask you to, just because you don't get that long. And the first time I ever went, we were so excited to see what was next, and then I was like, oh, I wish we'd spent longer in there, because the Great Hall is amazing. So just take your time in that bit. In the next section, really take your time. I think that's the section where there's the most amount of stuff in one bit. There's just so much to read, so much to look at, so much to take pictures of or pictures with, and just really take your time. There really isn't any rush at all, and you'll see a lot of people that just kind of walk off because you're so excited to see what's next and you're just taking it all in and you're excited, and I get it, and I did that the first time, but now that I've been a few times, I really take my time and I read all the plaques, and like, I mean, I haven't read all of them, there's so many, but just, you know, take your time. And also you can always go back on yourself. So say you did run past and then you realised, oh, that was the costume section and I'm really into the costumes. You can go back, so don't worry about that. Like, you can always go back. I feel like everyone also thinks that they have to just keep moving, which they do say to you, but I think that's within each room. Like, I don't think you could go all the way to the end and then start working your way back, do you know what I mean? But if you're in one room and you get to the end of room and realised, oh, that I kind of missed something at the beginning, you can always go back. Just take your time. In that first room as well, after the Great Hall, I would really try out all of the magic levers. There's like levers all over the place, and it tells you what it does. But for example, one of them is by the Weasley's house, Weasley's kitchen, and you pull the lever or you wiggle it, it tells you what to do, and it makes the pots all start stirring themselves. So it's like you're creating the magic, which I think is a really nice touch. And actually the first couple of times I went, I didn't realise that they were even there, because you can easily miss them. They're only very little, but they're on like the front of all the sets. So definitely go and have a look at that and have a play with them. Sometimes they're not always working, but most of the time they are, so definitely have a go. I think that's just really fun and you can create some magic. When you go into the Forbidden Forest, which is the new section, you can go left or right, and I would strongly suggest going left. There's just an amazing surprise. It was so funny. I did vlog it, so you can go and check that out if you do want to know beforehand, but I'm not going to ruin it for everyone that doesn't want to know. But yeah, go left in the Forbidden Forest. When you come to the kind of bit before the outdoors section, there is food and drink stands, and I would 100% suggest that you try the butterbeer ice cream. I actually think it's nicer, way nicer than the butterbeer drink. It was just so nice. I really wasn't expecting it, and I vlogged that as well, like my reaction of trying it for the first time. It was delicious. Definitely try the butterbeer ice cream. When you do go outside, one of the newest things is that you can now go inside of Harry's house, and it's amazing. There's letters everywhere. It's just the way they've done it is so cool, but I think it could be very easily missed. A lot of people were just going up, having their photo by the front garden and then walking off, and it's such a shame because you can actually go in it and go round. So definitely go into the Harry Potter house. It was amazing. I would suggest a highlight would be getting your photo on the night bus. There's a bit at the back of the bus where there's a pole where obviously you can hang out, and just there's a cool photo opportunity. And you can also go into that and kind of peek in at what's inside the bus, because the bus is a set in itself. So definitely make sure that you look in and see what's in there. There's some beds and stuff. It's just really cool. It looks like the films. So that's a really good point. And also outside there's a bridge that you can actually get up and walk along and go down the other side, and a lot of people don't realise that either. I think also because they always have staff members there, which I think is just to make sure that people aren't like trampling, like jumping over the bars and stuff, but I think sometimes that makes people think that they're standing there to tell you you can't come on. But you can definitely go on the bridge and you can get some really cool photos on there because it's all like wonky, it like plays with your perspective. So yeah, definitely walk along the bridge. Also outside is the car that Harry and Ron fly in, and the Hagrid's bike and sidecar. I always say that my dad's Hagrid. You'll know this if you're an OG subscriber. So my dad, when I went with my dad, I got him to sit on the bike and I got in the sidecar. And it's one of my favourite photos from every time that I've been there. So definitely take an opportunity of the photos that you can get outside in that section. I think that's probably the best area for photographs. When you go through to the next section, there is a buckbeak. and a lot of people just kind of go, oh, he looks really cool, and then walk off. But I was like mesmerised by him, and I was standing there trying to get my camera to focus, and this is the only reason I found out that it did this, but he actually moves, and the way that he moves, it literally is like he's real. Like, he moves his eyes and he looks at you and he blinks, and just, so if you get there and he's not moving, just wait for a little while and he will move, and it's amazing. Like, seeing it literally looks like it's a real thing. Like, I can't even describe it. It looks like it's living. So just, yeah, please take your time in that bit as well and really check out Buckbeak and wait and see how much he moves and how cool it is. It's really cool. When you go into Diagon Alley, definitely turn round and look behind you, because as you go in, you kind of go like that up the alley, and a lot of people obviously just run off and like, oh, and then it's all colourful. But if you turn round, there's like a little Gringotts bank, which is so cute, and it's not like little, it's not like this, but when you've been to the Wizarding World of Harry Potter in Florida, that's obviously got the full-size bank. This is like a mini version, but it still looks exactly right, and it's like all like, you know, when it's all lopsided, and it's just really cool. So really take your time to like look everywhere in Diagon Alley, look around you, look in all the shop windows, because there's stuff all inside them. I don't think you can actually, no, you can't go in any of the shops along the alley, which is a shame, but I guess it's just because it's meant to be this set and not actually like a live-in experience like the Wizarding World. But yeah, definitely look in all the windows, take your photos, take your time, because that's another bit that's really overwhelming, and because it's like just an alley, it's very easy to just walk straight through and not really take it in, but take your time on that bit because there's lots of attention to detail. When you get to the castle, I would definitely suggest using the screens as you go round, so you kind of go round and down the castle. There's like loads of screens. Definitely stop and take your time with that. I did the first time I went, and I've done it a couple times since, but there's so much on there about how they made it. There's videos of like sped up of them making the actual castle, like building it and then taking it down and then adding snow to it. There's shots of them flying around it and like how they did it and how it was done and how it was edited. It's just really interesting. If you're a hardcore Harry Potter fan, that's really cool. I think it was really cool and really interesting to see how they did it, and kind of mind-blowing actually. So really just, yeah, watch the screens, and they're interactive. You can like select what you want to watch, what you don't want to watch, that kind of thing. So definitely use the screens around the castle, because a lot of people just walk around and go and they miss it. One of my favourite things to do is to try and find my name in the wand shop. So as you go in, there's like, after the castle, there's loads of wands all over the walls, and apparently they're all like the cast names, aren't they? Cast and crew names. Do you know, to this day I still have not found a Jessica, not one Jessica. So if you go and you find a Jessica, let me know. But I just think it's really fun to find your name. Everyone I've ever been with has found their name, but I didn't find my name, so that's really upsetting. But yes, I just think it's really fun to sit there and find your name and take your picture with your wand. Obviously it won't be your full name, but you know what I mean. Any Jessicas are good. And the last part of the tour is the gift shop, which is my favourite bit, one of my favourite bits. And again, this is like your last bit, so just take your time. There's so much in there, and it's really easy to just like grab the first thing you see, but I would suggest getting a basket, picking up things that you like, and then going through it like before you get to the till, because you know the stuff is expensive, so you might not be able to buy everything that you want. Every time that I've been, I've not been able to buy everything that I've want, and I've bought a lot of stuff still, so there's just so much in there and so many amazing things. So yeah, just take your time, don't buy the first thing you see and grab, you know, really go around the shop a couple times and check everything out. If you want like different sizes in clothes and you can't see them, always ask a staff member. But yeah, just take your time is I guess my overall tip, because it's so easy. The first time I went, every time I've gone, I've spent longer there than the last time, because I've realised that you can, and you might as well get your money's worth. So don't feel rushed at any point, other than in the Great Hall where there is a time limit. The rest is just free, so you know, just take your time, take everything in. It's really amazing. There's so much to look at and see, so just yeah, enjoy it and take it as slow as you want. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope it's been helpful. If you have any extra tips that I missed out that you think are really important, please leave them in the comments below. Let's help each other out. I actually want to go back again this year, but for Halloween, because I've never been then, and I know they do a lot of like dark artsy stuff, so I'd love to see that and vlog it for you guys. But yeah, I'll keep you updated if that's something that we book and plan. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a big thumbs up, please, and subscribe to my channel. I'd love to have you here, part of our little fam. Hope you're all having a magical week, and I will see you again soon. Bye!